We have had a very interesting development happen over the course of the past few days, and this is all to do with Three Arrows Capital liquidators suing Terra Luna for $1.3 billion over the Terra collapse. And to understand what relevance Three Arrows Capital has here in Terra Luna, but also Terra Classic as well, we need to go back. 6 months ago, I decided to cover the story of Three Arrows Capital and how deeply woven it was into the Terra ecosystem itself, even having a substantial influence on Luna Classic in the past. And when it comes down to this very specific group, they have a very good set of skills and they know exactly what they need to do. Now, throughout this video, we drew the connections between Coach Bruce being LUNC DAO, Three Arrows Capital and the members that are involved with that, and it leading to the Ox Fun exchange being the endpoint of this elaborate crypto scam. So now that you're up to date and you have an idea of who exactly Three Arrows Capital are and how relevant they are to both chains themselves. So what we need to do is go back to that initial article and take a deeper dive. So Three Arrows $1.3 billion over the Terra Luna collapse. So the liquidators of the defunct Singapore crypto hedge fund Three Arrows Capital have filed a $1.3 billion lawsuit against Terraform Labs. In their court filings, Three Arrows Capital liquidators Russell Crumpler and Christopher Farmer of Tineo Holding alleged that Terraform Labs misled Three Arrows Capital about the stability of its algorithmic stablecoin Terra USD, being UST as a denom, and its sister token Luna, prompting the hedge fund to make substantial bets on the assets. The liquidators are seeking damages not only for the direct purchases of UST and Luna, but also for the subsequent losses to Three Arrows Capital's crypto investments caused by Terra's collapse. The turmoil for 3AC began in May 2022 when Terra UST lost its peg to the greenback, leading to a $40 billion loss for the Terra ecosystem. So despite alleged assurances from Terra co-founder Do Kwon, the stablecoin's failure triggered a chain reaction in the crypto market, ultimately leading 3AC to file for bankruptcy in July 2022. The hedge fund, which was once managed up to $18 billion in assets, argued that the Terra collapse caused irreversible financial damage. So when we start to look at this and assess this situation, not only have Three Arrows Capital used and utilized prominent figures that are supposed to be trusted in the crypto space that have a substantial amount of following, they have actively pillaged and plundered both the Luna and Luna Classic community by touting these scams and rug pulls which continue to elaborate and they bring out the next big thing. And we're currently seeing that play out. So if we look at the timeline once again on a short view here, we look at Three Arrows Capital crashing. We then look at them opening up the OPNX exchange and that crashing. We then see them move to Ox.Fun and then that crashing. And then we then see them move to OPNX relaunched as LAM. So once again, they are continuing to actively engage in pillaging and plundering this community. So with that being said, not only are they kicking us in the shadows, they're now attempting to really go for some big bucks. And $1.3 billion is a serious amount of money. And when you start to look more into these prominent figures behind Three Arrows Capital, behind the LUNC DAO effort itself, we start to look at these efforts to try to produce the next big super cycle narrative. And we can see that they're trying to do this with LAM. They're trying to replicate the current meme coin trend. With all of this being said, there are people behind the scenes like myself and others that do track these things actively. And I think this is going to be a pretty significant thing for Terra Luna in the future, because TFL themselves are leaving the crypto space, not because they want to, but because they have to. This leaves Terra Luna in a very uncertain situation as to who's even going to handle a $1.3 billion lawsuit and where exactly are those funds going to come from. With a lawsuit of $1.3 billion, a legal team to foot, a decentralized ecosystem to organized, and no centralized body at the helm anymore, it's going to provide the final nails in the coffin for the Terra Luna ecosystem, being Phoenix 1. I do believe in the future, Luna Classic itself is going to rise above. It is going to stand true as the OG that didn't give up, and it carried on moving forward. With all of this heat heading towards Luna, it's pushing it even further into the dark. And this isn't the only thing playing out currently. We've still got the situation playing out with Do Kwon himself and the pushing and the pulling with his extraditing back to either the United States or South Korea. And we can see that this has been going on from November 2023 to around the current date, with things still left uncertain, unknown as to when this thing is going to end. There are still lawsuits to settle in South Korea, as stated by TFL in their spaces that they provided for both the Luna community and the Terra Classic community. You can find a copy of both of those spaces here on the channel, and I'll provide links at the end of the video for you. So aside that, this is a very good position for Terra Luna Classic, once again being an OG, standing strong, standing true, and pushing forward. So if you like the content here, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub, and aside that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.